This is the Exeter Historic District Commission. My name is Grayson Shepherd. I'm the chair. I will start with the roll call starting to my left.
Gwen English, Planning Board Rep.
Kevin Kahn, Vice Chair.
Pam Jadam.
Julie Gilman, Select Board Rep.
All right. And we have, I believe, Amanda Kelly on Zoom as well, who is a member of the commission.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, you answered my question for me. If you could hear me and everything was operating smoothly. So it looks like the only thing that we have that's I guess not really new business, but is a request by Phillips Exeter Academy for an extension of the certificate of appropriateness for the application of HDK number 21-4. Do we have anybody here on behalf of that request?
Well, since we have only one person, that had better be it.
Things can get crazy. You never know.
You never know. Yes, I'm Heather Taylor, and I'm here from the Academy. And we purchased the property. This is the property at 43 Front Street. They had a set of approvals. They were going to build 11 condos. We've purchased it. We're not going to build 11 condos. We're looking to turn it to a dorm, but we've just begun construction. So we're looking across the board to just extend, do the extensions. And, we've hired the architects that did the project, hoping to do and use as much as we can from what they did. And we've just started, so if there are things that change, we will obviously be back. But we just wanted to extend the approval as it was.
Well, that was my only question, is that if you're making changes, please come back.
Of course.
Otherwise, I have no.
That was going to be if there were going to be any alterations to the approved plans, but if not, then I have no issue with the extension through, I believe, was it 2 years, through 28?
Yep.
I am extremely relieved. And I'm at the Historical Society a lot, and we were all dreading apartments next door with all the parking. But we see the students go in and out, and you seem to be doing just fine.
It's a temporary situation right now, but that's alleviated the Academy building project. So that's helping that move along. And so it's temporarily being used as classrooms. And
I have one question, which I can't commit you to because you're doing your stuff.
Yep.
The stained glass window?
We're in the midst of it, but the stained glass window in the front, in the design, the framework of it, as it was approved, we actually discussed. I mean, I think we're going to try to keep it as they had it approved.
Okay.
So that's the plan at the moment.
Okay.
Do you know how it was approved? Were they changing the?
Yeah, they were taking all the stained glass out. There's some in the basement level too. Small windows.
I mean, in terms of the stained glass the windows, they were replacing the windows. We will, for the same reason that they didn't want to have religious iconography in the units
yeah,
to
there's
sell.
that, yeah.
We likely can't and again, we're just starting, but, if there's ways to hold something of the past, that's great. That's not of that, it might be inside, not something you'll see, but if anyone knows anybody that wants an organ.
An organ? Well, Craigslist.
I might not know somebody who would want some of the Star of David shaped design glass.
The glass in there, I think that I don't know what we just had our first conversation, so they showed us that framework stays, but I don't know whether that's rebuilt, restored, exactly what, but yeah. And so yes, if there are things you all know and want to let us know that you're interested in, let us know. As I said, we're just in the beginning, and the things that certainly have value of that, I hope we can find a place where they go intact.
There's the architectural salvage place, and there's one in
There's one in
Northampton?
Northampton, further
Yeah.
down. They've already taken some of the pews, so, and we're going to hopefully reuse some of them in another project on campus, so, or the wood from it, so,
Yeah, you folks are very conscious of reusing what you can, so.
yes.
I read an article about, this is nothing to do with you, but an article about construction debris and, people tearing things down and just sending them off to the trash, and that every year there's enough construction debris that we could build a wall 10 feet high, 10 feet wide that would circle the whole United States. So if we're looking to build a wall, there's that thing.
Really sobering.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not your affair.
Recycle, reuse, as
Yep.
much as we can, yes.
Yeah.
We can't save everything. I know we've been before here for other things, and not every house will be saved, but we're very cognizant of where we are and want to keep that sense of place. So, and we're thrilled that there won't be 11 condos on that corner either.
Well, I will move to approve an extension of the certificate of appropriateness for 43 Front Street, tax map parcel 72-198, HDC case 21-4, through December 17th, 2028.
Second.
February 17th?
Yeah,
Or just
that's
February.
February 17th, 2028.
That was the date that it was originally extended on and all of that. So, yes, we just built on that.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed or? All right, you're all set.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You can go
We'll be
watch the
back.
Olympics. You can go home and watch the Olympics.
Yes.
That was quick.
The sad part is if you get texts, you sort of understand what might have happened.
Yes.
Well,
New York Times sends me a lot of breaking news about things I plan on watching at 8 o'clock. So that's unfortunate.
It's still fun to watch.
it is. It is.
It's very
And-
exciting.
Yes. I don't know if you've heard about the women, but
We won't say.
Yes.
exactly. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to know yet.
Yes. So anyway, go America.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you as well.
Take care. See you soon.
Is our guest?
Yes. So the next item that we have is a presentation from the Barrett Group on the status of the High Street Historic Survey, and I believe we have is it Jen Doherty online?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you all?
Doing well, thank you. So we'll turn the floor over to you for your presentation.
Sure. So I don't really have a presentation. It was just more of an update, or at least I don't have any slides prepared, I'll say. But I've been working with Julie on your CLG grant to document the properties within the historic district, the local historic district, beginning at the east end of High Street and then working west. So this year's phase will be documenting about 50 historic resources. There is some math that was done there around the number of resources, but about 50 or so on inventory forms that we've prepared based on one that the town had provided from another community, sort of geared towards the local historic district. And so I had sent some sample draft forms to Julie, so I don't know if those made it around or not. I can pull one up if that's helpful. But just wanted to give you all kind of an update of where we're at and get any thoughts you might have on the sample forms and their utility for the commission before we go ahead and start preparing the rest of the forms.
Jen, the files that you sent me did not get dispersed to the commission. We've had some changes in the planning department that it sort of fell off the radar. I did send them just tonight, but they haven't had a chance to look at it. So if you can show us one,
Yep.
That would be great.
Trying to find, let's see.
Are these the forms that you gave us?
Yeah.
Like,
But this
talk
one,
about roofing, siding?
yep.
everything?
And the last one I saw was filled out more completely.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Can you all see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
I realize it may be partially cut off, so I apologize for that. But so these are the forms that we had come up with, sort of using sort of standard documentation categories for historic resources, and then sort of tailoring it a bit to the needs of the Historic District Commission. So this first page just has sort of a lot of basic information about the properties, where it's located, what its use is, if it's been moved, what its acreage is, things like that. A locus map and a photograph key and a picture. And then on the second page, we have this table, which has some of the sort of common features on a building: doors, windows, structure, siding material, trim, things like that. A brief description for those items on the particular property. And then this column over here basically has an X if that feature is a character defining feature. That is, if the feature contributes to the character of the historic resource, contributes to the character of the overall historic district. With the idea that as you review projects, you would review these forms and say, someone's coming in to replace their windows. We see that the windows here are a character defining feature. We want to be a little bit more cautious in our review of these replacement windows.
Can I ask a question? Who makes that who makes that decision? Who says that, for this, the siding is a character defining feature?
That was me.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
I just wasn't sure if it was, based on the architectural style of that home, this is generally understood as being a character defining feature versus, you, Jen, who I trust more than myself to be able to make that determination to say, I think that is a very important aspect of that particular home, separate from any sort of objective qualifications or anything like that. So.
Yeah, and so it's certainly, considering architectural history, considering the development of the building itself, considering Exeter's architectural history and development, is this something that is really going to be a character-defining feature for that building or not? So it's, thinking about all of those contexts, and then the building, and then deciding if it is or not.
Great, thank you.
And so the forms then do continue with some significance, like a historical significance narrative, about the history of the building, whatever's known using maps, local histories, local history books, local biographies, ancestry records, census records, directories, things like that. Bibliography on Exeter's history. And then some additional photographs with some detail photographs and any historical photographs that are available for the property. So those are the forms. I guess any initial thoughts or concerns? And I realize you all are seeing them for the first time perhaps right now, but if there's anything else that jumps out at you, let me know.
It's a lot of work when you go into the history of a house and who may have owned it, what might have happened there. I appreciate the work that goes into this.
And one of the things about having this is if we decide, like the Front Street Historic District and the Waterfront Commercial District are on the National Register. So if we want to go ahead with the High Street one, which is a little more difficult to do that, we have the information, especially where besides the physical things, but having the history of who owned it and what may have happened there, that's very helpful because we consider, was there somebody famous that lived there? Was this a cultural significance as far as demographics or something like that? So this is a point that we could start from if we want to do that.
I think this is going to be so invaluable for what we do. So,
And I think the
thank you.
plus size is that plus size. The plus of it is that new members will come in and will get this information and feel more comfortable. You know, we have a hard time getting people here because they're afraid of what they don't know, and that they might make the wrong decision. So between our guidelines, which we should look at again, because we may need to make some addendum since they were done in, 2017? I don't know. That this will help us decide on those things. It will help new people feel comfortable looking at the what we have in the guidelines describing all the different parts of a building, and then this brings those parts to the detail of whether they're contributing or not. And I think we'll find some interesting things in the various houses down there. And I wanted to tell you, we got approved for another $25,000 to continue this project.
that's fantastic.
Great.
Yeah, so we can go, further down High Street and maybe beyond. We'll see what you come up with.
It's great.
Yep.
I mean, I don't have any further questions. I think that's it. It's because we always have questions about what it looked like, what the process of certain changes that have been made since original construction. So I think this is going to be, like I said, invaluable to at least to my conceptualizing kind of where things stand in the timeline. So thank you.
Great. So I'll be in touch with Julie some more. So these were some draft forms just to kind of make sure we're going in the right direction. And then the rest of the forms will be prepared probably by the middle of May. And then there'll be an opportunity if, you all want to review them all before we kind of finalize them and send them into NHDHR for their records as well. That's kind of my update on the project so far.
Okay.
I just had one question, if you guys don't mind.
Is that
Yeah,
Amanda?
go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm a newer member, and I was looking at the documents that Julie forwarded, and I noticed that like one of the houses on there was that house on the corner of Ridgewood Terrace, right across from 176 High Street. And I know that that's, in our area, but that house is rebuilt from the ground up.
Yep.
Like a year ago. Can somebody who knows better just talk me through that?
Yes, Jen asked me about those. We have a couple of houses that were clearly built, that one in particular, but a few others that were built in the, after 2000. They don't qualify as an historic resource because they're not 50 years old or older. But I asked Jen to go ahead and document what's there. And, if the photograph, there may not be any contributing features because it's brand new. But then we'll have what the original was or what is currently there. And as time goes by, we can update it. As it gets 50 years old, I don't know how many of us will still be there. But that we want to include it because it is a piece of property in the historic district.
I see. Okay, thank you. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think there were 3 or 4, maybe 3, sort of 2000s properties in the area. And then there were like a handful of, 50s and 60s things. But then most of it was sort of early 20th century, 19th century, certainly things that are recognizably historic beyond that, the building that was constructed last year.
One of the reasons that there was a push to make that a historic district was some of the changes that people were making to their properties, and folks were concerned, and so it was a grassroots effort to extend that really long historic district. And the extent of it goes out east because the people at the very end wanted to be in the historic district. We were going to stop it much earlier. And now I forget why I'm telling you this story. Oh, because the houses that are newer and there's such different periods of architecture throughout the street that we felt it was important to have a knowledge about those. And Kevin's house and my house are very different, but they're both older and deserve to have a little recognition as far as what's important about them.
Yeah, I'd be excited if they found who the original owner was. I took a
There was a-
stab at it 2 years ago, and I got back to like 1880. I
Oh.
couldn't get past that.
Well, that might be it.
Well, it's an 1850 house.
Yeah, I know that it was vacant for a long time. There was a doctor involved who lived in Kingston or somewhere.
Jody Pellerin may be able to give you some
Or
guidance.
Peter Smith. You know, Jen, I ought to get you in touch with
Historical Society?
Peter Smith.
No.
He was a
She's
high school,
High school history teacher for years and years and years.
and he has offered to work with you. And he has a whole lot of data, and I forget the number of his house, but it's in the, it's on the odd side of the street.
I mean, I knew it was owned by the hospital. Dentist was in
Four,
there, and
it's
then there was
on a
organist
larger
or something, and
lot, and it's white, and it has the,
yeah.
Curved driveway and the,
has a barn.
and
What's
Barn
the
in
word,
the back.
rusticated facade in the front?
Okay, yep, yep.
So the fellow lives there, and I can try to connect him with you. I have his phone number.
Okay, yeah, sure,
We'll do that.
that'd be great.
He will talk your ear off.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions from anyone else? Amanda, you have anything? Hearing none?
No, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Again, I know we really appreciate your efforts, and this will be a great addition to our resource base. So thank you.
Good, thank you all. Have a good night.
You too. Thanks.
Bye.
yeah, when I was doing the research, I found it really interesting how the deeds usually pass through the wives' names.
Oh, mine don't.
Yeah.
What frustrates me with the Registry of Deeds is that it always says land and buildings, and you don't know if the building that you're living in is the building that they're talking about in the 1800s.
nope, you don't.
Yes.
Okay.
Last thing, anybody have anything on the minutes?
Does anybody remember what Mr. Holmes's name was? Is it H-O-M-E or H-O-M-E-S? We got to pick one.
It's H-O-M-E. I looked it up because I
Okay.
wondered too.
Thank you.
All right.
It's H-O-M-E, and I think just one spot.
That's
So
it.
the third line on the.
Well, it's on
Oh,
the
and on
front.
the second-
It's on the front as both,
Yeah.
so, okay.
And on the second page, third paragraph down, it should be James, not Jame.
Oh, okay.
I think that was it.
Anybody find anything else?
No.
No.
All right. So, do I have a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I abstain and
Abstain.
yeah, because we weren't present. So, meetings pass or the minutes pass as amended. Any other business? Anybody wants to talk about?
No.
Nothing for the good of the cause. All right.
This may be the fastest meeting on
No, I
record.
think we did. I think we did one in like 8 minutes a while ago. But we're getting close. So, all right. With hearing none, I will adjourn
Motion
this
to
meeting.
adjourn, yeah.
All right.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Look at that. Excellent.
Thank you for
Fantastic.
tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8. with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.